I'm Tamara Baker again, and I'm going to open the summer meals discussion. Actually, thank you, Mariah. You've already opened it, and you've done a great job of recognizing the value of summer meals and why that program is so critical. We're going to continue the momentum about summer meals with this next session. And this year, we have a diverse group of speakers to talk about successes with summer meals and opportunities for growth in the program. And I just want to point out that summer meals has already been all over this agenda. You saw people walk across the stage who are hunger heroes who are doing great work in summer meals. You saw a sunshine over at the puppetry. Someone asked, why do we have sunglasses? And I said, because we see you in the summertime, even when it's bright and sunny outside. And that lovely glasses on top of glasses. I wanted first to introduce my colleague at the Department of Public Instruction, Victoria Homick, and she is here on stage already. She sneaked right past me. She is Summer and Special Nutrition Compliance Specialist with the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, who's here to tell us about the exciting new tech tool coming to North Carolina for summer meals sites and many other great new opportunities. The Department of Public Instruction, for those of you who are new to this conference, is the state agency that administers many nutrition programs that we care about here today. They work with both school lunch and school breakfast and the summer food service program, which is the program that can be run by both school districts and many, many, many hardworking community organizations out there. And so we're going to hear more now from Victoria.
Thank you so much. In 1968, the Special Food Service Program for Children was created. It was a 3-year pilot program that provided grants to the states to help provide meals for children when school was not in session. The following year, 1969, about 99,000 children participated in the summer program at 1,200 sites across the country. Over 50 years later, in North Carolina alone, there were approximately 3,500 meal sites and close to 5 million meals served to children. How did we, all of us in this room, and those that have come before, those that will come after, how did we accomplish this? We did it through 5 P's: passion, perseverance, perspiration. After all, there's no substitute for hard work. Pioneering new ideas, and partnerships with organizations such as yours and with No Kid Hungry. The North Carolina Department of Public Instruction's history of working with No Kid Hungry is long and successful. We are grateful to them for their vision, their support, and most of all, for bringing visibility to the dire need of our children to have nutritious meals during the summer and throughout the year. The children we are fighting to feed September through May are often forgotten in the summer. The burden of food insecurity affects their families, as we have heard this morning and this afternoon. Research shows that grocery bills increase by as much as $300 per month during the summer. The North Carolina Department of Public Instruction and our sponsors see these children. Our summer sponsors are fighting to fill the gap of summer hunger, and ensure that these children have access to healthy, nutritious meals when school is out. Our sponsors work tirelessly throughout the summer months, serving nutritious meals in creative ways and locations across the state. They overcome barriers such as limited transportation, lack of meal sites, and even difficulties in engaging the local community. Still, less than 12% of the children that are eligible for free and reduced meals participate in the summer meal, the summer nutrition programs in 2019. So that's a very small percentage. What we do today matters, not only for the present, but also for those who will stand on our legacy. Together with you, we see the need and fight summer hunger. At this time, I would like to recognize my colleagues and friends at the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, and I would ask them all to stand. Thank you. My colleague, McCamy Holloway, will share with you more about the state of summer nutrition in North Carolina and highlight some of the successes that we are seeing throughout the state. We will also hear from Gregory Quick, one of our award-winning summer sites that is making a difference in Wayne County. But before we do, I do want to share a little bit about our new tech tool for the summer. It was introduced last year. We did receive a grant from a technology and innovation grant from the United States Department of Agriculture, and it has allowed us to offer to summer food service program sponsors an electronic meal counting and claiming system. And this will replace paper meal counting. The system is linked to the claim. Yay! All the claims people out there will love this. The system is linked to the claim and allows sponsors to seamlessly upload their claim for the month. It will promote accuracy, integrity, and ease in filing the summer food service program claims. We saw the possibility of improving the counting and claiming process, and through this grant, we're making it a solution. Jessica Barkowitz is here. Jessica, if you'll stand for a moment so everyone can see you. She's stepped out for a moment. She's probably at our desk. But she is here to help answer any questions that you may have regarding the cartwheel meal counter. We have a table out in the lobby, so please stop by, say hello, and ask any questions that you may have. Now I would like to introduce McCamy Holloway. She is one of our summer and special nutrition consultants. McCamy has been with the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction for 2.5 years. She has a master's degree in crop science from the North Carolina State University. She and her husband, Rick, live in Raleigh and enjoy cooking and dining in the area's many wonderful restaurants. Now, to balance their love of food, they enjoy hiking and exploring Raleigh's greenways. McCamy?
Thank you, Victoria, and thank you all for your attention this afternoon as we shift gears a little bit to look at summer nutrition. Like Mariah so wonderfully introduced, the kids that we're focusing on all year long, May comes around and the need is still there. And so today I'm going to take a look at kind of the statewide level, talk about what's going on in summer nutrition from that perspective, then we'll zoom down to the county, and then we're going to zoom in and look at some sponsors and some programs and some new initiatives that are going on that are really seeing needs, seeing opportunity, and addressing it in their community. So first off, let's get the next slide. Looking at summer nutrition in 2019 in North Carolina, we had 169 sponsors operate across the state last summer. That is an all-time high for us, which is very exciting. Those sponsors operated anywhere from 1-day sites to 66-day sites, which is almost every single day of the summer, including weekends, which is exciting, serving 4.6 million meals to some of our 860,000 children who are eligible for free and reduced price lunch, which equals about 99,000 kids a day, which I thought was very interesting. In 1969, when the program started, that summer nationwide, there were about 99,000 meals served, and that's what we served just in North Carolina last year. So that's very exciting. However, I do want to point out that with all those meals served, we're still reaching only about 12% of the kids who are eligible for free and reduced price lunch, only about 12% of those kids received a meal at some point last summer. There's a large gap there still, and we'll talk some about the different barriers that are keeping these meals from the kids who are getting them during the school year. And I do want to point out, this is kind of a sobering number, but looking at that pie chart and the dollars that North Carolina has earmarked for this program from the USDA, we have almost $300 million that's set aside for our kids to receive meals every summer. We accessed about $15 million of that last year. So there's lots of funding there, which is very exciting. I had someone else, a new partner, come to me recently and say, well, what if we serve all these kids? Like, do you have enough money for that? Yes, we do. We have funds that are set aside to feed these children. So we're just always looking for more partners, creative ways to move the needle past that 12% mark. So looking statewide, I have a map for us looking at how that 12% compares county by county. And so what I want you to take away from this map is a lot of blue. And that blue represents somewhere from 5% to 15% of the eligible children in that county receiving a meal sometime that summer. So that's kind of right around the state average there with all that blue. Now, we are seeing in the last few years more movement towards green, more movement towards orange. And so just so you guys know where our goals are, our overall goal is to move from the blue counties more towards that orange color, getting more and more of the children in each county receiving that meal and moving the percent of need met by county. And so we do have some county resources for y'all. On the next slide, y'all are hopefully familiar with this tool. This is one of my favorite one-pagers that No Kid Hungry North Carolina makes for us every year. Thank you to Jessica Soldavini for being our master data maker on that. So we looked at statewide data. I would love for you all to take a chance to look at what's actually going on in your county. These county profiles give all those same data points that we just looked at, county by county, and they're available on the No Kid Hungry North Carolina website. They also have breakfast profiles, I believe, up there too, so you can take a look at that and see what's going on in your county. I love these data sheets, most of all as a tool. If you're speaking to your administration, someone else in your county about what's going on, about the need that's there, the funding that's there, this is a great one-pager to pass along to media to explain the program in your area. So that's our county level. I am going to zoom down some more to talk about a couple of sponsors and programs who are doing a great job of seeing the need and seeing opportunity this last summer and how that panned out in their community. These sponsors and programs are people who are addressing the barriers in summer nutrition, like access to meals by providing more meal sites, awareness of the program, quality meals being provided at sites, activities to keep the kids coming back, and then transportation, which is one of our largest barriers in summer nutrition. So to start us off, Beaufort County Schools was a new sponsor in 2019. About this time last year, we got a call from a sponsor in Beaufort County who had been operating for many years, saying they would not return for 2019. That sponsor in 2018 had served 17 sites, totaling about 27,000 meals. And so when we heard that they weren't coming back, panicked a little bit, thinking, these are a lot of meals, a lot of kids who are depending on these meals from these sponsors. Who's going to meet that need? At that point, Beaufort County Schools was not operating summer nutrition, either in the summer food service program or the seamless summer option, but we gave them a call. I'm very, very thankful to Gwen Robertson McBride, the school nutrition director there, because she came through and she saw that need in their community and said, we can't not do something about these kids who need access to these meals in the summertime. So in summer 2019, they actually operated 20 sites, so increasing that number of sites, serving 36,000 meals. So meeting the need that was there and going above and beyond it as well. Thank you, yeah. She also recruited over 50 volunteers from the community, so really got the community involved outside of her own staff. They participated in Farm to Summer Week last summer, which was a new initiative for North Carolina. And then they also engaged the rest of the community, like the Chamber of Commerce and the Partnership for Children and Literacy. And they were featured a lot in the newspaper over the summertime. The community was very excited to see their school system get involved in the summer nutrition program. So I think Beaufort County, I feel like I saw someone from here today. Thank you guys for seeing that need and for meeting it last summer and for continuing on in 2020. So shifting gears kind of to the very opposite of eating meals in school. Last summer, we had a sponsor, Cape Fear Tutoring, that was very brave and piloted for us a new program, a new model of serving summer meals in an actual restaurant. And so KNW has been a longtime partner with Summer Meals, serving as a vendor throughout the state, a lot of times packaging meals unitized and then sending them out to sites, delivering them. But they said, well, why can't we just eat with you in your restaurant? And so KNW worked alongside Cape Fear and created this model, created procedures for serving in the restaurant. And they were actually able to have kids come to the KNW restaurant in Rocky Mount, in Wilmington, and in Goldsboro to eat meals in the restaurant during the summertime. Now, this eliminated a lot of waste because kids were eating made-to-order food off the line. A Cape Fear volunteer or employee was there to count the meals, and then kids were having this nutritious restaurant experience for summer food. And actually, that story we saw during the puppet intervention of the kids going on a date, I don't know if that was a different story or the same story, but they did that happened at that KNW in Rocky Mount this summer. A 14-year-old boy heard on the radio that they had free meals, and so he took a girl out on their first date to KNW. So just so cool. Okay, oh, perfect. It's an adaptation of the story. But really, really neat for kids to get to have a restaurant experience when they might not usually get to have that and have that be funded through Summer Meals. So over the course of the summer, there were about 5,300 meals served at the Rocky Mount KNW, with a max being about 190 meals a day being served through that restaurant. And they did serve weekends as well. They did a really good job of kind of adapting as the summer went on. Thank you. And adjusting their operations according to participation levels. So going somewhere in between that, you guys have heard us at this conference before talk about the hospital model of Summer Meals. Elaine Jones from Atrium Health has spoken in the past, and we do have a similar thing that happened at Duke Raleigh Hospital this summer. They were a new sponsor in 2019. They were able to serve cafeteria style from their dining room meals to kids. And one of their favorite things, and one of my favorite things to see about that program this summer, was they really, really focused on the quality of the meals they were serving to the kids and exposing children to new foods and doing nutrition education around that. So they served foods like bok choy and artichokes and salmon and quinoa to kids, and they were able to try those foods out when normally that's not something they would get to try at home. And a lot of times the kids liked them and came back to do them, to eat them again. So in 2020, they are planning on expanding to several of their other hospital campuses. The administration was very excited and supportive of the program, and so they'll continue that next year. And to that, we actually are excited to announce a new partnership with the North Carolina Healthcare Association, which is kind of coordinating hospitals statewide. We found that there are 139 eligible hospitals in North Carolina, and we're working with the Healthcare Association to bring those on board into Summer Meals and take this model that's been done at Atrium and now at Duke and move it more statewide in North Carolina. And I'm hurrying up. I know I'm almost out of time. Of two other examples of just site models we really love, lunch at the library. We are very thankful for a partnership with the State Library of North Carolina, who has thought outside the box and gotten past the stereotype of no food in the library, no drinks in the library. And they have welcomed Summer Meals into over 40 different library sites in North Carolina. All of those have been very intentional, very involved, figuring out how to make the program work best for them, whether that's serving every single day a lunch or serving a snack 1 or 2 days a week. There are several counties where the bookmobile brings along lunches or snacks with them and just serves along the bookmobile route, Summer Meals. So be thinking about that. I'm doing a lot of outreach right now with librarians, and we have this To Be Well Read, You Must Be Well Fed campaign going on. So you may be getting some calls from libraries in your area wanting to get involved. And if you want to learn more about that or want tips on how to partner with them, please don't hesitate to reach out. And finally, thinking about the transportation barrier in summer nutrition, we found time and time again the best way to make sure kids are eating is to bring the food directly to them. And one of the most easy ways to picture that is serving literally where they live at multifamily housing units. And we do have several hundred multifamily housing units in North Carolina serving throughout the summer. And whether that's someone who works for the apartment complex serving meals, maybe a parent there, or a volunteer from the community, or someone from the school system or from the sponsor bringing those meals, being the site supervisor. But those are a site that we are continuing to pursue and then also have created some recent resources around. So the picture there on the right is the front of our multifamily housing toolkit that's coming out soon. A resource for you to pass along to those apartments if they're interested in serving, so that they can understand the barriers around summer food, understand some of the basics of it, and how to really implement it well without it taking too much sponsor involvement. And then also there's a webinar this coming Tuesday. It's for those RD and HUD properties and the apartment managers, but if anyone in here is interested, we'd love for you to attend to. A few quick stats on that. I did say several hundred apartment complex sites. We've been very, very fortunate to partner with rural development over the last few years, and Lee Phipps has been an all-star getting those sites connected with us, and we operated in 19 different rural development sites this year, serving 7,000 meals, I believe. So it's very exciting. And then Tracy and Laura from Woodridge, too, if y'all are still here, they won the Child Hunger Hero Award, also a great example of why bringing food to families, to kids where they live, works so well. So with that, I shouldn't have gone into too much detail about that, because Gregory Quick is going to come up next and tell us about his experience serving in Goldsboro 3-in-1 Family Center at a HUD unit there. And I think Victoria is going to introduce you. Great. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, McCamy. You can see from McCamy's presentation how important our partnerships are and how much we value them and how much we value each of you in this room. Next, we've sort of looked at, with McCamy's presentation, we've sort of taken a bird's eye view of summer nutrition. Now we're going to bring it to the level where it actually occurs. We're going to come to the site where all the activity and the actually serving the meals to the children occurs, and what a wonderful opportunity that is. I would like to welcome Gregory Quick. He is with 3-in-1 Family Center in Goldsboro. The center was recognized by the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction in 2019 as a superior site. And Gregory is here to tell us the successes and the challenge from his perspective as the operator of this particular site. So we look forward to hearing it, and thank you very much. And I believe this was their first year in operation, so kudos to them. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Real quickly, I want to go over some things and what we have done. 3-in-1 Family Center, the beginning of it was 2003 when it established. Myself and my life partner, my wife, Mrs. Cassandra Quick. We've been operating in the community and doing different things. And again, like she said, that last year was our first year with the Kids Summer Meals program. So we had a lot of fun. And I believe that Andrew has some slides for me here. Yeah, here we go. That we can kind of share with you some of the activities that we did there. Right here where you see Fire Chief Dixon and the firemen there alongside of him by the fire engine, holding the free summer meals, a little handkerchief there, if you would, bath cloth. They were involved in the initiation of the program, starting it. Some of the things that we did also with the children, as you see the skeleton there, it was muscles and bones and things that we had little questionnaires with the children along the way. And here you have to the far right is our House of Representatives, Mr. Raymond Smith Jr., North Carolina House. Those are some of the pictures of the volunteers there as well in the background, along with myself there as well. Down here is where we actually had back to school supplies, because we supplied the kids when it was time to go back to school. They had back to school supplies to go to school with as well. Now, I think there's another one there, Andrew. Oh yeah, these are some of the awards that we got. We had Krispy Kreme as a donor in the community. We also had the public library as well to donate us over 200 books, children's books, over the summer, so we can actually encourage the kids to read as well throughout the summertime. Down here, I believe that's Texas Roadhouse. They were a great support as well because they did some fundraisers for us, believe it or not, for our kids' summers. Yeah, they did. Awesome. Walmart, we received a $1,000 community grant that we had actually applied for, so that assisted us in some of the things that the kids needed as well during the summer. Okay, all right. Now, here you can see some of the testimonies there. I didn't think I was going to get any more love letters, but I did get one over the summer from one of the children. They was like thanking us and telling us how much that they loved us coming there and feeding them and taking out time for them, okay? All right, what we got next, Andrew? Okay, there we are, a close-up picture there of our House of Representatives, volunteers. Okay, next. All right, looking ahead, well, first, another thing I want to do, I want to thank DPI and also the Food Bank of Central Eastern North Carolina, Mercedes and Dana. Thank you guys so much, really appreciate that in our efforts this year. So we're looking forward to having some other things involved this year. The mayor was there, also the chief of police was there, and Goldsboro as well to help kick off our Kids Summer Meals program. So this year we're looking forward to them attending again because we want to bring a focal point, especially in those areas, such as you've already heard before, in rural areas, those hard to reach areas, or some of those areas that are actually challenged economically. You know what I mean? So now I've got a little something here that I'd like to read for you. I put my departure. It says, why are we here? Why do we serve? And what is in it for me? See, I need glasses. You see that? I'm looking for them. They right there. Look, by the way, I am a fan of food and nutrition, as you can tell. You know. All right. Nonetheless, these are some of the questions outsiders might even ask themselves if they were to observe not only my service, but the service so many other organizations and individuals such as yourself are here today. I'm honored to be here, really I am, before these hundreds of like-minded hearts and souls, which own the mantle to be a pillar of positivity and strength in their respective communities because of their intimate call to action. We have today doctors, lawyers, educators, and professionals, all of you, for all across the spectrum in attendance. We have fathers, mothers, grandparents, sisters, brothers, and children. Here are so closely rooted and grounded and planted in the positive effects of what service and the spirit of service has done for their lives. I'm a firm believer that my 3-in-1 Family Center, which is our family's call to service, happened at the right time. For this reason, to help my family and coordination of vendors, the company's support of Goldsboro, North Carolina, and to involve partners that have forged such a lasting relationship must be recognized. They have a call to serve. My wife and children in the environment that we created at home has groomed them in the selfless manner to pull towards service. I know that these words mean the most to the individuals here today because you have also been called upon to serve and have answered that call. Why 3-in-1 Family Centers here is to be hopefully a beacon of light in a desperate community. We are here to provide inspiration to victims of circumstance and to encourage them to know that their choice for the future is still theirs and their actions matter. Why do we serve? We serve because it's the right thing to do. How simple to say, but how hard to implement. How hard to stay consistent. How hard it is to coordinate. How hard it is to fire others up about the gifts they bring to the cause. It's tough, but we serve because hope is the one thing we count on in impoverished communities. Where children are more vulnerable to hunger, undereducated, domestic violence, gang violence, sexual abuse, bullying, and a myriad of other topics. We serve because we seek to empower and instill the hope in each and every life that we engage. We serve to encourage children to maximize their potential, no matter the obstacles they face. We serve to inspire the people that don't have a call to serve on the front, line, but want to financially enable organizations. We give them a face and a lasting relationship so they can participate in hope too. Finally, I say, what's in it for me? Be a question. We wake up and ask ourselves. It might be a question you ask yourself every day or multiple times a day. When funding is not accountable in your account to provide meals for children, but statistically only 3 meals a week at home, if any, it may be a question you ask yourself when you have a problem child that has been battered by society, labeled, failed, and tossed aside. It may be the question you ask yourself when you walk into large-sized classrooms which need a tailored attention. It might be a question that you ask yourself when you have spent countless hours serving food to hundreds of homeless kids or at disadvantaged children. It may be a question you ask yourself when you feel like you've done all you can do and know there's still work to do. What's in it for me is the same thing I wish to impart in all that are involved in the 3-in-1 Family Center programs and Summer Kids Meals program. It's hope for the future, hope for the present, and hope that we see our gifts in ourselves as we see them in many we continue to serve. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Quick. Thank you, Gregory, for those inspiring words, for challenging us, for encouraging us, and for giving us hope. We look forward on behalf of the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction, and we just thank you for participating in the Summer Food Service Program, and we definitely look forward to what you will do in your second year. Through these summer nutrition presentations that you've seen this afternoon, we have heard how a simple, everyday occurrence of providing a nutritious meal to a child can be an event which changes the rest of the story. Thank you all for making this possible.